Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs, welcome back to Decidedly Vanilla, and today we're going to be taking a look at the almost like 99.99% complete Hot Pot Bistro, which I am pretty much ready to open, but I need to add a couple of finishing touches, and then we can have the grand opening on camera today. It will happen! It will be done, and let me just finish putting this stuff away. Probably keep the dirt and things on me. Good, okay. And I'll take you outside, and you can see what I've done with it. Now, the exterior is pretty much the same as it was. I pretty much got that nailed in the last episode. The one thing I have added is an outside table, because I thought a lot of restaurants, especially restaurants in nice kind of temperate places, have tables outside. So I'm just trying to get away from the nether portal. It's really noisy. They have tables outside, so you can sit outside, and there's maybe we can put an umbrella or something up here if it ever gets rainy on this server, which it generally speaking doesn't. But it's kind of cool to have some outdoor seating, so people have the option of sitting outside if they want to, because it's usually a nice day around here. So this is the sign over the top, and you'll notice there are two item frames either side, which need to be filled up with something, and it's something I'm going to be doing today. And there's another item frame here that I want to put something in here as well, but this is the finished interior. I liked the sign so much that I put it kind of around the counter. You know how the counters in restaurants will sometimes have like engravings or some kind of mural drawn on the countertop or something like that? That was pretty much the best I could do with the signs, and yeah, I think it looks really cool. I like the way that looks a lot. The one down there says staff only because that kind of leads behind the counter, and this is a new armor stand creation. I figured I may as well put some kind of cash till in here, and so I figured the best way to do that was a big old button in the middle so you can open the drawer, and then, yeah, just a set of stone brick stairs. It seemed like the thing to do. So the interior I'm really happy with. I did what I said I was going to do last time around, which was to expand this downwards so that we could have 2x2 paintings in there. I really like these two paintings. I think they look very classical. It's kind of nice to have that sort of art style in here. I've got a specials blackboard up, and again, signs was the best I could do as regards writing on it, but I figured that looked pretty cool. We've got this is basically the menu right now. This is the stuff I plan to sell here. Obviously, rabbit stew is going to be the main thing, and because it's got so many ingredients, it's the most expensive dish, but it's also the specialty dish of Freehaven. That's going to be kind of the food of the region, if you will. Mushroom stew, I figured we should add something for the vegetarians. I know Paige is vegetarian, not necessarily in real life, but on the server she is challenging herself to be vegetarian, so I thought I should provide mushroom stew and the house salad, which is probably just going to be carrots and maybe a potato and whatever else we can dig up. Maybe some bread as well. You usually get bread with salad, don't you? And then surf and turf, which is basically just there so that I can use up the amount of fish that we get from the Guardian farm. I thought somebody should start selling cooked fish in the restaurant. And surf and turf is traditionally seafood, usually like lobster or crab or some kind of like, yeah, a crustacean. And then the turf is usually steak, like beef steak, I think. But you never know, people might request rabbit as well. And of course, coming soon, once the 1.9 update comes out, beetroot soup. So that's going to be cool. That's going to be nice to add that to the menu, but obviously that's not going to be happening quite yet. So yeah, thank you for all your suggestions. On the last time we were in Freehaven, you guys were suggesting things to go in the item frames. Some people said put banners on the back of the chairs, which looked kind of cool. I quite like the way it looked, but two issues with it really. The first being that banners kind of flap in the wind a little bit, and that's less noticeable when you're only using them on one block high spaces, but it's still just looked a little bit off to me. And the second thing was that I wanted to expand the seating to include other areas of the restaurant where it would be really obvious that that was a banner you were looking at. So I kind of figured go in a slightly different direction with it, and I went with leather vests, like upside down, so they kind of look like cushions that extend to the left and right for like back support or something. I don't know. It looks a little bit different. It still kind of looks like a minecart, let's be honest, but I think I did an okay job of that. I think that looks kind of cool, so I'm happy with it at least. And so we've got a few different sizes of tables here. We've got 4 over here with the corner, we've got 3 here, and this one looks a little bit strange because the chair is facing that way and these two are facing that way, but that's the problem with the way minecarts align, you can only really have them straight on like that and still have the item frame in the back anyway. But if you're sitting in it like this, you can turn in any direction you want to. You don't have to be facing the direction the minecart is. So I could just as easily, you know, sit and chat with my friends over here if I wanted to, if I was sat in this position. So I think it's alright. I think that looks okay. The problem with these guys over here is that if you walk past this bit, it pushes the minecart around a lot, and they can't really be held here. I might put carpets along here, but I really like the fact that the floor is just bare wood, and if I put anything else around here, it's going to look really obvious that there are patches of carpet where I needed them. The item frames are here, suspended by these signs. If you put a sign there, you can actually push an item frame over into this block just by placing it, by shift clicking and placing it, and I was really happy when I found that out because it meant I could put the same chair backs on these ones even though there isn't a solid block behind them. But right now I've been hopping over the top of the counter to avoid pushing those minecarts into the table because they look a little bit weird once they get displaced from where the item frame is sitting. I've actually reset these a bunch of times. Anyway, going on down to the kitchen area, which I've now finished, and I think it looks amazing. There's a little bit of exposed redstone there, which I could just about deal with, and that's the only bit that's actually exposed. But this is the kitchen, and I'm really happy with this. It's quite plain in terms of the decoration. Obviously, I tried to do a little bit of interesting stuff with the wall, with the floor, but for the most part, it is pretty much an open area, and that's because, generally speaking, restaurant kitchens tend to be quite neat and tidy and plain. It's the way they keep hygiene under control and that kind of thing, especially if they're handling a lot of raw food and so forth. They want everything to be clean. They want the surfaces to be clean and white so they can see if there's anything on them that needs cleaning up, that kind of thing. So I'm walking around with a block of dirt, so I'm just getting dirt around the place. And I've put a few chests around. There are a couple of stations where people can work. In Jeff's video, where he was talking about setting up his butcher block over at his cow farm, he said he likes to work with trash on one side and then the prep area on the other side. So there are a couple of chests on either side of here which can be used for that kind of stuff. But thankfully in Minecraft there isn't a great deal of waste when you make food, so I guess these can probably just be used for storage. We've got a crafting table underneath there because rabbit stew actually needs to be crafted in a crafting table. It's not just something you cook, it's something that you cook and prepare, so that's going to be kind of fun. Now around here we even have a walk-in fridge, which I think was a pretty cool idea. I mean, it's got kind of a freezer vibe to it because there's ice and stuff in the walls. So far, the only thing I have in here is fish. I've got a couple of larger chests and a couple of individual chests, just so you can store some stuff. I figured it would also be cool to have item frames in here. I don't have any more with me right now, but you could have item frames up here and it would be like the meat was like hanging up to dry. So maybe we'll put that in at some point. I don't know. Maybe we could even do something with armor stands, although they'd need arms to be able to hold any actual meat, so I don't know. That's a possibility for the future, but I'll need to talk to one of the admins to see if I can get some commands running on here. And yeah, this is the setup we have. We have these furnaces over here which can cook all of the stuff. I figured I would make one here that had it look like a cooker hood, but then the issue with that is you can't put anything on top of here, so it can't look like a frying kind of setup. So I kind of wonder if it's better off... Oh, didn't mean to break the quartz stairs. Pop those back on there. If it's better off just having the iron trapdoor there instead, so it at least looks like there's a hob there. I don't know, we can probably just get away with that being the hood. It doesn't really need much more than that. But anyway, most of the cooking and stuff can be done in the other furnaces as well. And I kept the brick pillar because I like red brick being used in a restaurant context. It feels like the right kind of place to do it. It's rustic. And this is the dumbwaiter. This is the thing I was talking about the other day when I mentioned that I wanted a minecart with a chest to be pushed up to the main floor with everyone's orders. So let's say, for example, that people have ordered 3 cooked chickens. That's not on the menu, but there you go. They might have ordered it anyway. You can press the button, like so, and it gets shot up there with a slime block and stays up there thanks to a piston-activated slab which kind of comes out of the wall there. And the cool thing about this is that they can send it back down with this button here, which incidentally activates that trapdoor as well, but I'm kind of fine with that. And then it will get sent back down that way, or alternatively, the kitchen staff, if they're using this button down here, they can recall it themselves by pressing that button just to add more food to the order. But then up here, if the cart is down here and you press that, the waiting staff can't call the cart up if there's no food in it. So basically the kitchen staff have to send it out once the food has been prepared, and then the waiting staff return it, but they can't call the cart until the orders are ready. So that kind of makes sense. So now, on to these item frames. I want to put some stuff in here, and I figure seeing as rabbit stew is the main dish on the menu, we need to put some rabbit stew in each of these frames to show that is what we're about here at the Hot Pot. And the thing about that is I do not have any rabbit. I don't have any rabbit right now. B-Ran hasn't come back with my order yet, which is fine because we're not quite ready for the grand opening, so I'll give him a little bit more time, but I might have to chase him up on that in case he hasn't managed to fulfill the order yet. I've seen in a couple of his recent videos that he is going around killing rabbits, so he's working on it. But I might have to take matters into my own hands this time around because I want some rabbit stew to go in those item frames. So I'm going to go on a little trip and see if I can hunt down a couple of rabbits myself just to use as rabbit stew decorations for the restaurant. So let's set out from Freehaven and see what we can find. We're doing this at night, so there's every opportunity we will encounter a lot of mobs as well, but I wonder if this is 50 blocks so I can get that sniper duel achievement. I wonder. I keep knocking skeletons off there, but I really, really want to get that achievement on camera if I can. I got it on the last server, which was some kind of miracle, but yeah, I was up high and managed to snipe a couple of skeletons from pretty high up. I wonder where he's gone. He might even have taken full damage and died. Never mind. Okay, the hunt for rabbits begins. There's one, found one. Ah, and it's a Hops clone as well. I've got so much other stuff after me right now, though. Just killed a couple of Endermen. Ah, skeletons shooting me. Get away, get away. Sorry, zombie villager. Don't mean to cure you right now. Oh, gosh. Making holes in the local landscape. Hope that rabbit doesn't get away while I'm fighting these guys. Come on. Oh, and so many zombies now as well. Oh gosh, oh gosh. If he's a Hops clone, he might have called these guys in as his minions. Come on, you're the last one, unless... Oh, there's more zombies as well. So much fighting. There he is, yeah. Look at you, smug, hanging out in the background. You're getting yours. Ha! Oh great, three hide. His final act of defiance was to give me 3 rabbit hide and absolutely no meat. Typical. Right, gonna repair this hole and then continue with the hunt. Shh. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. Oh, got him. Nailed him. Oh, and some meat that time as well. Fantastic. And a lucky rabbit's foot. Awesome. You know, I've not made... I made some potions of leaping a while ago, but I have not made any since. So it would be kind of cool to see if we can do that in this episode. I want to spend the rest of this episode crafting stuff that isn't normally crafted, I guess, that I haven't really crafted in Minecraft before. And there's not many things that I haven't made at this point. You guys have seen my basement. You've seen that I collect a bunch of stuff, right? And if it's just resources that can be gathered or stuff that I can use to build with, then that's fair enough. But there's definitely a couple of things on the menu that I have kind of missed. And one of them is fireworks. And I've never made fireworks in Minecraft before at all, ever. So it's kind of interesting to see how we can put some fireworks together. And I think I might actually put some fireworks together for the grand opening of the Hot Pot. It kind of makes a lot of sense to do that. So I'll gather a bit of gunpowder from these creepers. I've already got a little bit of it, which is fine. And then, hello chickens. These are like lava chickens over here, just hanging out, ready to be cooked in the nearby lava streams. I think I will put together some fireworks for the Hot Pot opening. Hello, just randomly walked into these skeletons' territory. Dawn is rising and we must eat. And I have had very little luck finding rabbits so far. I've probably been going for about 5 or 10 minutes and only found those 2. And I'm hoping there's going to be a couple more in this roofed forest, but then with it having just been nighttime, I imagine there are going to be a few mobs in here as well, so I'd better be on my guard. There's one. See if we can sneak up on him, get the drop on him. Ha-ha! Another rabbit's foot, but no meat. I think it's probably because I have looting on this sword. This is the Hop Slayer, so it's kind of an appropriate sword to be fighting rabbits with. If you guys don't know what the whole deal is with Captain Hops, by the way, then you probably weren't around for Decidedly Vanilla Season 1. If you go back and watch that, it's basically, the whole deal with that is our server was overrun by these mutant rabbits that B-Ran bred. It was basically this whole storyline thing we had going on, and it was a lot of fun. So we kind of have this vendetta against rabbits. Go back and watch those old episodes if you haven't already, because they're a lot of fun. They're really, really cool. And it kind of ties in with the storylines that everybody else had on their channels, which is definitely worth checking out. But yeah, I think the fact that I have looting might be giving me preference for the rare drops, because rabbits are like chickens, aren't they? When you kill a chicken, you only ever get one raw chicken out of it. You never get more than one for using looting or something like that, because the chicken only has one body, and it's like the entire body of the chicken. Whereas with cows, you get a lot of beef steak, because there's a lot of places you can get steak from on a cow. So I don't think I need to be using my looting sword. In fact, it's probably better if I don't. So that means we're probably going to have to shoot all of these rabbits with a bow, or attack them maybe with an axe or something. But I feel like the bow is probably the most effective weapon. It's easily going to be the most powerful one I've got right now. Although once the 1.9 update rolls around, that will probably change, because axes will be a little bit more powerful. There's another one down there. Get him. Nice, there we go. Rabbit meat. Straight off the bat. See, this is definitely a good tactic. I think I'm probably on the right track there. Oh, hey, we're over at the Mesa. Didn't think I was going to get out this far. And there's a flower forest right here as well. So maybe this would be a good place to find some... Oh, there's one. How did I miss him? Just walk past him. Nailed it. Did I get one? Did I get any meat? Yes, yes, there it is. Excellent. That's the 3 we needed. Fantastic. All right. Let's head back to Freehaven and let's cook these boys up. I've gone past this a couple of times on the way to and from a couple of places, the Mesa, and I really want to put like a propeller on the underside of this, because there's this big old floating island and it looks like it's just been launched from this platform over here. So I'm really, really tempted. I don't know if anybody else is building some stuff out here. There's a little bit of stuff over there. I'm kind of tempted to come back and build a propeller on the bottom of that, but I'll do that another time. Here we are back in Freehaven, and I'm going to head down to the kitchen. I've got all of the supplies I think I need, and we can get cracking on our rabbit stew. Now, I'm going to leave that trapdoor closed just so we don't let in a draft or any creepers or anything. I'm pretty sure it's lit up upstairs, but you can never be too careful in this game. So, we need a cooked potato, a carrot, a cooked rabbit, a mushroom, and I think the brown mushrooms are the ones you need, although it might be red, so I might have to go back and get some red. And you need a bowl. And it's actually a bit of a gourmet food. It kind of makes more sense to eat all of the ingredients separately than it does together. I think it provides more saturation when it's all as together as rabbit stew, but individually the ingredients restore more hunger. So it's definitely a food for the connoisseur. It's definitely a food for somebody who wants the good life, and I think you can put the ingredients in a specific order. Now this is going to be the tricky part, unless I've got this whole recipe slightly wrong. I don't know, I might have to look it up, you know, I might actually have to look this up right here. And I'm throwing the rabbit on the floor. That's probably not great hygiene, but hey, these are just decorations anyway. These are just there for aesthetic reasons. Okay, so the recipe goes: bowl here, baked potato in the middle, carrot over there, cooked rabbit on top, mushroom there. That's really specific. That is some very specific shaped crafting recipe right here, but there you go. Our 3 rabbit stews are complete. I'll pop the extra bowl back in there because that'd be a good place to have bowls and stuff, and I'll probably come through here with item frames and actually mark down where everything needs to go in terms of storage and stuff. Oh, these are sinks, by the way. I didn't mention this when I gave the quick tour, but this is kind of meat preparation on one side and vegetable preparation on the other side. I felt like that would be kind of a cool thing to do, just to kind of keep them separate, you know? So, we have our rabbit stew, and I'm not actually going to be able to sample the goods myself because I only brought back 3 rabbits, but there you go. We're going to put these either side of here, and there it is, and that looks pretty cool. I really like the kind of sprite for the rabbit stew. I like that a lot. now we're going to work on preparing some fireworks, and these I can't quite remember the recipe for. I think just to get a regular firework, you just need a gunpowder and some paper. So do we have any paper in the storage chest? Okay, I've got plenty. Good. But to get other stuff, you need to add dye. I think you can add... What would be the best kind of dye? I guess Freehaven, we've got this kind of blue theme going on, so let's go with blue. Maybe go with a bit of red as well. It's going to be kind of vaguely patriotic or something, I guess. But to make a fireworks star, you need to add, gunpowder and dye together. And then you add a fireworks star in with paper. Is that how you make firework? Or do you need do you need more gunpowder with that? Okay, you need more gunpowder. And it gives you a small ball and red. Interesting. So I guess you've got to make like fire charges and stuff to make them larger. Whereas, where am I looking? Potion ingredients. Now, to make a fire charge, is it blaze powder? Is it not blaze powder? I don't know. I'm going to have to look up the recipe for that as well, because I've never made a fire charge before. So let's continue making some of these while I look up the recipe for a fire charge. Okay, so for a fire charge you need blaze powder, but you also need coal to be involved, like that, but you get 3 of them. Okay, that's cool, that's good to know. Alright, and there are a couple of other things that involved gold nuggets, so I'll grab a couple of those. Thankfully I have a decent amount of gold right now, and let's make ourselves a blue firework, like this. Is that how we're going to do it? No, why doesn't the fire charge... Do you need to add the fire charge to the rocket afterwards? Interesting. There's so much like nuance to the building of fireworks in this game. I have not had a chance to take a look at it properly yet. But there you go. There's one small light blue and one small red firework. Now, how do the fire charges go with this? Okay, so you actually have to add the fire charge to the fireworks star when you make it. Interesting. Okay, I'm learning. So maybe I won't use too many of those today. Let's put together the rest of these. Okay, so here's our stash of fireworks, and of course, by the time I got done making all of them, it was daytime outside. The sun has pretty much only just risen, so while I'm down here, I feel like I might make another thing that I have never made in Minecraft before, which is TNT. I've never made a stack of TNT in my life. In fact, I'm not sure if I will have nearly enough for a stack, but I will at least have a go. Now, I'm pretty sure what you do is you make an X shape. And I know this isn't an X shape. I'm kind of putting it together like that, and then if I put more like, there we go, there's TNT. Okay, so now I have 7 TNT, and I feel like that should be an achievement, even though it isn't part of the achievement system, but it's an achievement for me because I've never used this stuff before. And I don't want to include that in the opening of the restaurant. Of course, the first thing I'm going to do when I make it is blow it up. So I'm going to stash it in here for something else. I don't know what on earth I will actually use TNT for. I don't do a great deal of land clearing and stuff. Although, Clandlewood hasn't paid me for the radio station interior yet. The TV station, rather. So, I don't know. Maybe I should maybe I should pay Clandlewood a visit with some TNT if he doesn't pay up, because we haven't settled on a price, and I think he's kind of using that as his bargaining chip right now, because he doesn't seem to have gotten back to me about how much he's going to pay me. So, I don't know. Well, there's a couple of chickens in here. Can't possibly threaten the chickens. There's shock and awe. I don't know, man. He looks a little bit explosive. He's a firecracker. He's a very, very fast, explosively fast horse, some might say. Well, this is already too dangerous. I can't blow up extreme fishing. Why am I talking about blowing up Clandlewood stuff? I'd never do that. It's never something I would do, especially not his champion racehorse. No, would never blow up anything Clandlewood did. While I'm waiting for the sun to go down, I might leave Paige a note, because I want somebody to supply some vegetables for the Hot Pot Bistro now is opening, and I meant to ask Paige if she could do that with her vegetable garden that she's got outside of her house. When we went caving together, I meant to ask her, but I kind of forgot about it at the time because we were too busy, getting all the diamonds ever. And so I figure I'll drop by her house now and leave a note asking if she wants to provide some vegetables for the opening of the restaurant. Dear Ms. Maces, the Hot Pot Bistro, a recently opened restaurant located in the heart of Freehaven, is in need of a supplier of fresh organic vegetables. We need mushrooms, either red or brown, carrots and potatoes, baked or unbaked. We propose an offer of 1 gold ingot per trio, i.e. 30 gold for 30 carrots, potatoes and mushrooms. If this offer meets with your approval, please deliver to Pixel Manor and provide an invoice. Yours sincerely, Pixlriffs. There we go, pop that in there, and it looks like the sky may be darkening very soon, so we can head back over to the hot pot and consider this our grand opening. Now, I do still need to train a couple of chefs, so we'll have to see who we can get on that. I'm not sure if Jefferson is back on the server yet, but I heard a rumour that he might be coming back on soon, so maybe I can see if he's up for that, seeing as he is a trained chef in real life, but it's always possible that we could run things ourselves until such time as we need to hire on additional staff. So, eagerly awaiting the sunset now. I'm going to prepare my hotbar for this because I kind of want this to be like a full-on display. And I'm pretty sure, I know you can set these off from dispensers, but I know you can also just do it by right-clicking them. And of course I've set myself up next to the nether portal, which is the noisiest thing in the world right now. So here we are. I always think that cloud over there looks kind of like a prancing horse. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. Anyway, the sun is going down, so this seems like the perfect time to start off our firework display over here, like so. Yay! And they don't make any noise. Why don't they make any noise? Is there something I can turn up that makes them make noise? I don't know, this seems like a little bit of anticlimax to me. There we go. Let's set all of these off at once. Way! And two more. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hot Pot Bistro is officially open for business in the heart of Freehaven, so if you're on the server, feel free to drop by. Hopefully we will have some food ready for you, and there will be staff waiting to serve you. Thank you very much for watching this video. My name has been Pixlriffs. Please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more tutorials, snapshot videos, and other Minecraft fun, and I will see you guys soon. Bye for now.